So, so we are going to explore this study on the effect of balancing asanas and Anulom Vilom pranayam on hypertension. So, in introduction, let me tell you that 1.28 billion people suffer from hypertension all over the world. This is the report stated by WHO. Then, number of people suffering from hypertension has almost doubled in the last 40 years. This also study was conducted by the Imperial College London. Now, WHO states that hypertension is a major cause of premature death all over the world. Let's go ahead. So, this paper explores the possibility of performing balancing asanas and Anulom Vilom pranayam to control hypertension. As it is a lifestyle related disease, we cannot say that we can cure it, but at least we may try to control it. Okay. So, what are the causes of hypertension? Maximum association of hypertension is found with sympathetic overactivity. Now, these are various papers that I have studied, and from them I am quoting all these things. Okay, so hypertension is found with sympathetic overactivity, which is directly or indirectly involved in different mechanisms of hypertension, like obesity, obstructive sleep apnea, insulin resistance, metabolic syndrome, uric acid, vitamin D deficiency, gender differences, racial, ethnic, and environmental factors. All these are causes of hypertension. Now, it is not overt sympathetic activity as per Kramer. The paper published was in 2018 by Kramer, H. and Schumann and Dogos. Here I have quoted the paper itself. They are saying that it is not overt sympathetic activity, but disturbed basal sympathetic tone. Okay, it is not activity, but it is a basic sympathetic tone which has been disturbed. So basal sympathetic tone arises from hypothalamus. So it comes from hypothalamus, possibly affected by cortical influences. Means hypothalamus is also being affected by cortical influences. Therefore, hypertension is not merely a disease of circulatory system alone. Okay, so we say that circulatory system means hypertension means related to circulatory system, but this study says that it is not just related to the circulatory system alone. Its pathogenesis involves alteration in ANS, means autonomic nervous system, which we have already seen previously. Previous the speakers have already explained what is autonomic nervous system. Okay, and likely in cortical hypothalamic connections. Okay, so there is some alteration in the autonomic nervous system. That is why maybe hypertension happens. Okay, so assessment of ANS and cortical hypothalamic connections may be required for better understanding of hypertension. So they are saying that we need to understand the causes of hypertension in more detail and study even all these things as ANS and cortical hypothalamus connections. Okay. Now, hence, it can be said that hypertension occurs due to the overstraining of the different mechanisms of the body where the function of ANS is affected. Okay, there is a overstraining and also various mechanisms, not just circulatory system or the heart, but various mechanisms coming under the autonomic nervous system are affected. The various organs and systems involved are the circulatory system, autonomic nervous system, and the hypothalamus, which resides in the brain. So, not just the heart, but the brain, both are involved in hypertension. You cannot say that it is just related to the heart. It is also related to the brain. Finally, the science itself says that exact causes of high blood pressure are still not known. Okay, still science has not discovered exactly pinpointed. They are just saying maybe this might be happening, maybe that might be happening, but exact cause has still not been defined. So let's see what are the types of hypertension. Hypertension can be categorized into two types. Each type has a different cause. First is primary hypertension or essential hypertension, and second is secondary hypertension. So causes of primary hypertension may be age. That is, mostly people get high BP above the age of 50 years. Then there is a family history that may cause increase the risk for primary hypertension. High salt intake or salt sensitivity. The body itself might be sensitive to salt intake. Smoking, overweight or obesity, lack of physical activity, and diet. Now, causes of secondary hypertension. First is this is now outside factors. Okay, those others were mostly inside factors relating to the body, but this is lifestyle, if lack of exercise, poor diet, environmental, there is stress from outside, contraction of aorta, diabetes. This is also having some internal problems. Kidney problems or renal disease may cause hypertension. Sleep apnea may cause hypertension. Thyroid or adrenal gland problems may cause secondary hypertension. Birth control pills can cause hypertension. Okay, endocrine diseases can cause hypertension. Then side effects of hormone therapy can cause hypertension. If you are on hormone therapy, the side effect may be that you might get hypertension. Non-functioning of blood vessels. Pregnancy. In pregnancy, there might be pregnancy-induced hypertension. And drugs. Okay, many drugs, they are said to induce hypertension. Okay, now external factors, some external factors also are involved, like they can trigger hypertension, like excess consumption of alcohol, air pollution, perfume, like supposing you have allergy, then also you may be prone to hypertension, or tobacco smoke, food allergens like coffee. So this is allergic hypertension. Allergy may be from coffee, chocolate, milk, sugar, anything like wheat, nuts, anything. So now people with body mass index greater than 25 are more likely to develop high blood pressure. In 90 to 95% of high BP cases, the cause is unknown. In fact, they can have high blood pressure for years without knowing it. That's why it's a silent killer. It creeps up on you. According to a study at the Yale University School of Medicine, the use of medications containing PPA, phenyl propanolamine, okay, PPA, short form, may increase the risk of stroke. PPA is a common decongestant. See, it is a decongestant commonly found in cough and cold medications as well as slimming products. People with hypertension should avoid taking PPA. Okay, see what are the causes. These also may cause. So, what are the symptoms of hypertension? Symptoms associated with high blood pressure are as follows. Okay, first is headache, breathlessness, dizziness, blurred vision, palpitation, disturbed sleep, a recurrent backache, depression, anxiety, nervousness, and chest pain. Okay, so first thing when we go to the doctor, doctor checks our blood pressure, because all these reasons can be of hypertension, high blood pressure. So now let's see, go towards yoga. What yoga says, medical science behind stress and yoga. So the sympathetic nervous system, SNS, is our emergency response system. Okay. So it starts operating when there is a perceived threat to the body. Actually, previously, when our ancestors, they were hunters, gatherers. So when they used to perceive a stress, some animal is coming behind or something, there is a threat to the body. That time, this sympathetic nervous system used to get activated. But nowadays, it gets activated when the mind is threatened, means where there is some kind of mental stress. Even if it is a positive kind of stress, the SNS starts getting activated. Okay. Now, this is the fight or flight response mechanism of the body. So body responds. Okay, when it perceives a threat, what happens? It responds. So how does it respond? It responds with fighting. Either you fight it back. If an animal is coming on top of you, what will you do? If a dog is barking at you, what will you do? Either you will run away, that is flight, or you will fight it. Okay. So these are the two responses of our body mechanism, okay, which we normally display. So either it is fight or it is flight response. In this mode, what happens when the body is fighting or running away? When you are running away, what happens? Other systems of the body, like the digestive system or autonomic nervous system, other things, they will shut down. Excretory system will shut down. That time you will not feel anything. That time digestion will shut down. The body will only concentrate on giving energy to the body and mind for either running away or either fighting back. Okay. So all other mechanisms stop. And what happens is there is vasoconstriction in the muscles. So muscles start contracting. Okay. What happens then? This causes less blood flow to the extremities of the body and to the digestive system. Blood flow kahan jata hai? It is in the, it goes towards fighting or running away. It doesn't go towards the digestive system, or it doesn't reach the extremities like the fingertips or the toes. Okay. So this is, what is it doing? It is actually preparing the body for survival instinct. Okay. So all these other things get stopped and there is vasoconstriction. So what changes take place in the body? When there is a perceived stress, threat to the body or the mind, heart rate increases. Then blood pressure increases. Liver converts glycogen to glucose and releases glucose in the bloodstream. So glucose starts increasing. Glucose बढ़ जाता है. Blood pressure बढ़ जाता है. Heart rate बढ़ जाता है. Okay. The bronchioles dilate and the blood flow pattern changes. Okay. Bronchioles means lungs. Okay. The lungs expand, dilate ho jate, and blood flow changes pattern. Okay. Blood flow also changes. This leads to decreased digestive system activity and increased urine output as seen in diabetic. So diabetics में क्या हो जाता है? Then digestive system कम हो जाता है, activity less हो जाता है, more of urine output is there. As against the sympathetic nervous system. Now we have seen what happens in the sympathetic nervous system. Now let us see what is parasympathetic nervous system. It's called as rest and digest system. Okay, now the threat has gone. Okay, there is no barking dog behind you. You are relaxed, in a relaxed way, coming home, resting. So then what happens? In the resting phase, digestion again starts happening routinely, properly. So the parasympathetic nervous system gets activated. Then what happens? It stimulates blood flow to digestive system, brain, extremities of the body like tips of fingers and toes, sexual organs. Okay, so all these things now start getting blood flow. So now these sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system, they are a part of autonomous nervous system. Means they switch on and off automatically. We cannot see, like we can lift up our hand, and this is not automatic. This is if we want to lift, then we lift, you know, voluntary. But these ANS, SNS and PNS are coming under autonomic nervous system. So we cannot control them. They switch on their own and they switch off on their own. There is no control on this nerve part of the nervous system. In normal course, we cannot control them. However, yoga, which includes asanas, pranayam, and meditation, has known to stimulate. Now there are research articles telling that you can stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system and reduce the effect of sympathetic nervous system. It can be done partially, not completely, through yogic practices. Yoga is the only discipline which states that we can do this. We can control partly the autonomic control system, which cannot be in general, in normal course, be controlled. In fact, yoga can also stimulate uh, other way around also. You can do, you can stimulate the sympathetic nervous system in a proper way to utilize it for if you need energy. Okay, so in case you need energy for running or for attending a meeting, then you stimulate sympathetic nervous system through breathing. Okay, sorry, huh? हे काय झालंय? Okay, so which is the greatest quality of yoga, as it can to an extent control what is in normal course not controllable. So what is the effect of yoga? It can reduce the heart rate, it can bring down the blood pressure and ease one's respirations, etc. Slow and rhythmic breathing has also been known to release prolactin and oxytocin. What does oxytocin do? Oxytocin is known to enhance the emotions of empathy and generosity. Yoga is also known to reduce the cortisol levels in the body. Okay, so cortisol levels actually increase the blood pressure, but yoga reduces cortisol levels only. So then it will automatically reduce the blood pressure. This helps the body to perceive reduced levels of stress, thus relaxing the body and going into a state of parasympathetic nervous system. This lets the body rest and digest. Okay, so it stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the greatest benefit of yoga. So what does balancing asanas do? Now we are coming to our topic as balancing asanas. The basis of taking balancing asanas is that it helps in the supply of blood, that is blood circulation, in the remotest parts of the body. So now we saw that what happens in sympathetic nervous system, the extremities of the body stop getting blood, you know, some blood supply. So now what happens is balancing asanas, basically they help to give blood supply to remotest parts of the body. It helps to regulate the blood flow. Okay, because we are doing balancing, so blood circulation starts increasing. Hypertensive patients many times face the problem where the blood supply does not reach the extremities of the body, like the tips of the fingers, the hands and toes. Hence, their hands and feet become numb. Okay. Balancing asanas enables the regulation of circulation of blood in the body. This helps to regulate the pressure of the blood also consequently. Okay, so you get the drift of the thing that because of one thing, another thing happens. Then because of that thing, the other thing happens. So we can see that the circulatory system is majorly involved in these asanas, balancing asanas. Okay. Now, secondly, the second factor I'm telling you. Okay, the calves are the second heart of the body. If you are a yoga person, you know that calves are called second heart of the body. Here we are using in the, here means where in doing balancing asanas, we are using the calf muscles to push up the blood to the upper part of the body so that the pressure on the heart reduces. See the scientific background for balancing asanas. The skill and idea of using calf muscles to regulate blood supply is depicted excellently in the balancing asanas as a yoga posture for therapy. Hence, the choice of balancing asanas for treatment of hypertension. Hence, we have chosen balancing asana for treatment of hypertension. The basis to take Anulom Vilom pranayam is that it has no side effects. And secondly, it completely balances the body and mind. In fact, it balances the left and the right brain. Okay, because the left nadi controls the right brain and the right nadi controls the left brain. So both the brains are balanced. This is the scientific literature which I have referred to. You can go through it if you wish. There is Anulom Vilom. Here it is shown in variables. Key substantially the systolic and diastolic blood pressure has decreased. Then we have also approached the ancient literature and seen if there some things we can find. So first is the for second sutra of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, which says that yoga chitta vritti nirodha. If you calm the mind, yoga reduces the stress. If you calm your mind, okay. So calming the mind means activating the parasympathetic nervous system. Secondly, tat pratishedhartham ekatattva abhyasah. So this tells us that the practice should be constant and dedicated. It should not be once in a while, once in a blue moon kiya और बोला नहीं नहीं मेरा तो हाई बीपी कमी नहीं हो गया. How can that be? You have to do it continuously for a long time to get some effect over here. Okay. Then प्रच्छर्दन विधारणाभ्याम वा प्राणस्य. So chitta prasadan means reduction of stress. We are speaking about reduction of stress levels. So how to do that? He is saying, Patanjali Mahamuni, he says, breathing is also a medium through which we can achieve chitta prasadan, which means we can achieve reduction in stress levels. Then tam yogam iti manyante sthiram indriya dharanam. Kathopanishad says that firm control of the senses and they regard as yoga. If you can control your senses firmly, it is known as yoga. Then the yogin becomes free from all the vagaries of the mind. For the body is subject to growth and decay. Body will grow and decay, but mind, for the mind, you have to control the senses to control your stress levels and control high blood pressure. Consequently, now Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, shlok number 13 and 14. Samam kaya shiro grivam dharayanna chalam sthiraha sampreksha nasikagram swam dishascha nala nava lokayan. Okay, so what this says is the yogi should strive to purify the mind by focusing it in meditation with one pointed concentration, controlling all thoughts and activities. He must hold the neck and head firmly in a straight line. and gaze at the tip of the nose without um, without allowing the eyes to wander. Thus, with a serene, fearless, and unwavering mind and staunch in the vow of celibacy, the vigilant yogi should meditate on me, having me alone as the supreme goal. Okay, so here, how to meditate is very beautifully depicted in Bhagavad Gita. We don't need to go anywhere else. Bhagavad Gita tells us how to meditate, how to sit, how to reduce your stress, how to reduce your blood pressure, how to reduce your diabetes, how to control yourself, how to control your mind. Okay, so this is how the scriptures are helping us. So various published papers were studied and are quoted as reference material for this PPT. Papers referring to hypertension and yoga, papers referring to hypertension and pranayam. Various studies have already been made and published on PubMed, which I have accessed and I have brought before you. Then there is a need for further studies, like I am suggesting over here, to create a module in such a way that it works like medicine to revive, rejuvenate, and revitalize. Once we know that this is the therapy, this can be done, then we can devise one or two standing asanas as per our liking or as per the capacity of the student. If the person cannot do vrikshasana, we cannot tell him, na, this module it cannot contain. So each and every module will be different for each and every student. Just as but it should be like working like a medicine, targeted. Medicine works when taken thrice a day. So 3 times you tell standing asanas, you do for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. That is sufficient, because you know that standing asana is going to help him. Okay, so it can be advocated just like a medicine. So requirements and benefits of this module. If you make such a module, it can be implemented as a yogic module very easily, can be done anywhere and very easy to do. Standing asanas, tadasana, you know. So very good for a sedentary lifestyle. If a person is very matlab, for 1 full hour he is not ready to do yoga, very careless, lazy, alasya, then you can say, okay, you do for 10 minutes standing asana and Anulom Vilom for morning before breakfast. Excuse me. Or before going to sleep, you do for 10 minutes only. 10 minutes is okay. Then the person says, yeah, okay, no problem. 10 minutes I can do. Okay, anybody will do. And then it should be a spaced out module, brings benefits during the entire day. Okay, it might be meant as a sort of medicine. The strength of the study is time taken to perform the therapy is optimum comparatively. It is a focused and targeted therapy, links the asana and pranayam to the disease. And these are the references which I have taken from papers that I have taken from. Thank you very much. I'll take questions now.